the show. I am Tonya Oxendine, and you can follow me on Facebook and Instagram at I am Tonya Oxendine. And coming really soon, my website, TonyaOxendine.com. Everything Tonya Oxendine. All right, guys, we're going to get right into the show today. I always say that I have a special guest, but I promise you, this lady here, Miss Ires Alliston, is so freaking special. She always says that big surprises come in tiny packages, and she is absolutely right. I met Ires probably about 2 years ago at a business networking event, and we have been business colleagues since then, but most importantly, friends. Yeah. So, Ires, welcome to the show, and thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. I am so excited to be here.
Thank you. Yeah. So we're going to get right into this. Before we get started, though, I want to show you and promote Iris' book, and we're going to be talking about this a little bit. 51 Common Branding and Marketing Mistakes and How to Fix Them. Listen, guys, it's 51 of them. So I picked out my favorite 3 mistakes, if I can say that what I started off, because Iris is a coach, and I'm going to let her get into explaining what she does. And like I said, the 3 mistakes that I made, and we're going to talk about that a little bit as well. But before we get started, Iris, tell the people about yourself, child.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. Well, again, thank you so much. Well, what I do is I'm known as the Global Branding Mentor. So I help entrepreneurs and experts like Tonya here how to create even more success with their brands.
Oh, good. Yes. So if you kind of broke that down a little bit, so I know people always say, well, I know I did when I first started, like, what's the difference between branding and marketing? So what's the difference there between branding and marketing?
Oh, that is a great question. One question that actually I get asked often is the difference between branding and marketing. And really, there's this misconception that most of us, and believe me, I did the same thing too, where we think, oh, branding is all about the logo, your website, the colors and all that. But in reality, it goes beyond the website that you choose. It goes beyond the colors and all those great things, even though those are elements of your brand. The thing is, what I tell people is branding is your foundation. It starts with you, the leader in you, the expert in you, and it also includes your message, your tone, your voice, the image that you portray, everything else about you. And then marketing is the fun part also, because it helps you package what you're really great at and promote.
So so branding is kind of you, yourself,
the
foundation, and then the marketing is just promoting that.
Yes.
Right. Just promoting that.
Yes.
That's a good way to say it. I appreciate it. Yeah. So and you being a branding expert, like you said, global. I know you've been global, around the world in different states. What are people requesting of you as you go out being a branding expert?
Many things, right? As you know, I have my agency, so that's where I started with. I have my digital marketing agency, and at that time, it was just me. So I help with websites, designing websites, as well as a little bit of social media management, and even mobile apps. And I had clients in Georgia and in California. But nowadays, the more I get myself out there, the more exposure I get to speak on stage, on stages, which I am so thankful of, because as you know, and you know this story, I am such an introvert, an introvert. But when people look at me and they want my service, and I'm able to coach them and mentor them along the way on how to build their brand, and then also move them into marketing. So there's a blend of branding and marketing.
Right. I tell you, and listen, Iris helped me out a lot, because when I was starting off, and I'm going to talk about the common mistakes that I made, and one of them, she talks about, is keeping up with trends, kind of like keeping up with giving them more fame than they have, keeping up with the Kardashians, or keeping up with the Joneses, the things, just the quick things that's going on out there, when you really just have to find your voice and your authentic self, right? And brand that, and then again promote it with the marketing. And Iris helped me out with that a lot when we first started off, because I know I was kind of all over the place, and I talk about being all over the place, which is okay to kind of find your way. And I think now I'm kind of finding my way with your help with, what I need to do with the website, and, don't worry about what else is going on with social media or the trends and things like that. So that was one of the mistakes that I made, trying to keep up with the trends so much. So how do you feel about that, with trying to keep up with the trends so much, because things are changing so much?
Oh, definitely. So first of all, I want to say congratulations for all you do, because
Thank
I
you.
see you taking actions, implementing what you've learned. So that is one great thing, because as you know me, even though we've worked in the past, you always had me as a coach.
Yes.
I'm always checking you out. Right?
You do, and I appreciate that. And that's another thing with Ires, why I love her so much, because she's an accountability partner as well. I may not talk to Ires, whether we're talking conversation, meaning texting or phone call, just in the nick of time, like God himself, she'll reach out and say, hey, beautiful, or hey, Tonya, what are you doing? She is always saying beautiful as sunshine. Those are little taglines. And it's always at the right time when I can't get my stuff together. So I really appreciate that, being an accountability partner and checking up on me. Most coaches and people, they don't do that. So thank you so much for that. So when we come back, we're going to be talking about the other two branding mistakes that I made coming from Iris' book. So I'll see you guys in just a bit. We're going to take a quick commercial break. See you in a minute. All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the show. I am Tonya Oxendine, and you can follow me on Facebook and Instagram at I am Tonya Oxendine, and my new website is coming out very soon, TonyaOxendine.com. Again, welcome back. We're going to pick up where we left off. We were talking about branding and marketing and trends with that. Like I was doing, trying to keep up with the Joneses and just doing too freaking much. And one of those things that I did, another mistake that I made that's in your book, I had too many freaking social media accounts. And it's just me. I can barely keep up with my personal fan page with posting little stuff, but trying to run a business and keeping up with that, it was just too much. And you call, reeled me in, and was like, hey, what are you doing? And when I read your book, I said, you must have been talking about me. So how do you feel about that, with having too many, or what's too many or too less? And how do people tend to or not manage those social media accounts?
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, one of the things that I definitely would like to advise a lot of people out there, as far as if they're just starting out,
right?
Okay, not to get so caught up with having to open all of these social media profiles.
Yeah.
And on top of that, you're scratching your head because you're thinking, okay, what am I going to put on Facebook? What am I going to put on Twitter? All of these. And then by the time you're doing that, you are just putting messages out there that is inconsistent
with your brand,
with your message. And the thing is, at the end of the day, guess what happens? We get overwhelmed.
Yes.
And it's like, why am I even doing this?
Why? Exactly.
Right? It's like, no.
Then it's not fun anymore.
Exactly.
It's like a job instead of, I have a difference between a job and work. Work is like what your purpose and what your goals and what you really want to do. A job is what you do until you can find your work. So it then becomes a job, and it's not fun work,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, the other side of this, though, I also recommend for others out there to open or claim your social media profiles, because you never know. Your name might not be available on Facebook, but it's available on Twitter or something like that. So definitely claim your username on all these social media profiles. But I highly recommend to pick one social media profiles that you want to master, that you're going to be great at, and that you enjoy. So for instance, if you want to pick, Facebook, definitely master that craft, master that platform, start putting information out there, because it's the only way you're going to learn what's working and what's not working for you, and what you like and the things that you don't want to do. So definitely focus on one at a time, and once you're done with that, then add the other social media profiles.
And I agree with that, because that's what I had to take a step back. Thank you for reeling me in. Yeah, because I was just trying to do too much at one time, and then I wasn't concentrating on what I really wanted to do, which was, speak, of course, at the end of the day, and, a few other, my hobbies and things like that. So I started off with Facebook, then I integrated Instagram. I do have Twitter, so I claimed all of them, and the YouTube, but they're not active yet.
Right.
Until I can kind of master these 2 or 3 and then 4. And then hopefully, anybody out there, I need a social media brand expert to join the team. That's what I really need.
Yes.
Pro bono.
So you want to learn it.
Yeah.
Then you want to do it, and then you want to delegate it.
Yeah.
So those are the 3 things. Because I highly recommend for people to learn what it is, do it until you're comfortable on delegating those tasks. Because once you delegate those tasks, you're gonna know, okay, you're gonna tell your team, okay, that's not working, that's not what I like.
Right.
How about changing it up?
Because you know it, because you've
You know
learned it, you've done it,
Exactly.
and then you delegate it. I love that.
Yes.
Learn it, do it, delegate it. Yeah, kind of like what we do in the military.
Yes.
Yeah, so perfect. I love that. So as we're going to continue on, I want to ask you now, how have you successfully, this is big for me now, successfully cultivated brand identity for your clients? But before we get into that, we're going to take a quick commercial break and we're going to come back with that question. How has Ires successfully cultivated brand identity for her clients? We'll see you in just a minute. We're going to take a break. Peace out, guys. Alright guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the show. I am Tonya Oxendine, and remember you can follow me on Facebook and Instagram at I am Tonya Oxendine. And coming soon, my webpage, TonyaOxendine.com. Alright, so we're going to continue where we left off, and I asked Ires before we left, how have you successfully cultivated brand identity for your clients?
That is a great question. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, my question today.
Yes. So obviously, as you know, I work with entrepreneurs, authors, and speakers, and coaches. So along the way, when I teach them, and when I coach them, I pretty much customize our program.
Yeah.
Even though I have my own foundation, I have my own core, what I need to teach them, but I really drill down and take those great things that they have and bring it out in the open.
Right.
So let's say if you want to become a speaker, I really hope.
Great example.
Right, exactly. Ladies and gentlemen, speaker right here. And really trying to figure out your vision, your mission, and your purpose, your why. Why are you doing this? And all those great stuff. And then bring that out in the forefront. That way I can share that to the masses.
Right.
So as a speaker, your vision is you want to speak on stage. And I'm using you as an example.
Yes, please do. Manifest that, honey. Talk it into existence.
Definitely. And not just speak on stage, but get paid speaking on stage. See, that's the key, right? That's the key. We got to get paid.
Right.
We got to profit from our gifts. And the thing is that we will go into the program and make sure that, it's aligned with what you're thinking, what your vision is, and all that. And you know this, that success doesn't happen overnight.
No, it does not. But it's worth it.
Exactly.
It's worth it. It's becoming
action.
Yeah.
And it doesn't happen overnight. It could take months or even years in the making. But the ones who are taking actions, like Tonya here, the ones who are taking actions and really focusing on their purpose, on their why, is really making a difference. And that's all I ask for every single people who actually work with me is, even though I give you all these tools and resources and all my time in teaching you all of this from what I know, because as you know, I've been there. I've spoken on stage. I've traveled, outside the United States, and I've done workshops and events and all those things. I'm teaching you what's worked for me and what's not working, and then I'm sharing that with you. But at the same time, I'm giving you the shortcut to make it easier for you, so that way you don't have to
take that long road and do all those things. Right. So just from your experience, you're sharing that. And that's my message to everybody. Part of my branding and marketing, promoting myself. My message is pouring into others. And that's what my, the show is about, because having Ires here today, with her expertise and giving us the shortcuts, so we don't have to take the long road, and sharing your experience and your wisdom, that's pouring into others. So again, I appreciate that, because you have helped me out tremendously, and always do. Like I said, always call in the nick of time.
And you're one of those people, like I told you earlier, all the people that I work with, I call Tonya. I see her as my top 10 actually, who are taking actions and pursuing their dreams
Yeah.
Because you can have all these tools in front of you, but if you're not taking action, it's not going to do you any good.
Yeah, so I love your saying when you said learn, do, and delegate, right? I absolutely love that. Well, I have one as well, and it's effort plus execution minus excuses equals success. So we have to do it. We have to take some type of action, and don't make the excuses like, laying in the bed or watching TV. Pick up a good book and read it. No, seriously, or Google or YouTube. I got a PhD in Google, honey. Yeah, no more schooling for me. I got a PhD in Google. But all those things, like right now, all that stuff is at the fingertips, or at our fingertips. So, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, right. Now, because we're gonna get ready to wrap up in just a minute, because I wanted you to tell people about your book, about the book, and where you can be contacted. But before we do that, can you walk us through your process with the first 3 most important stages in branding and marketing, if you can combine them?
Oh yes. So part of my program, as you know, I like to do acronyms. You know this is the only way that I remember things, and a lot of my clients like it. So my first acronym is actually branding pop. How do you make your brand pop?
Okay.
P-O-P.
P-O-P.
And it stands for positioning, online presence.
Wait a minute now, honey. Y'all listening? How to make your brand pop. P-O-P. Go.
So the first one is positioning. And I'll go through this. Okay, positioning. The second one is online presence. And the third one is profiting, because we got to make money at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Right? So positioning is this though, and I'm going to share an exercise, and you know this because I've done the same thing you've done it before. Is I want you to think about how are you going to be known as when you start working with your clients. So I go through this exercise, and basically I do something like this. You need to figure out your expert title as opposed to your company title. And you know it.
Yes.
You know it. And basically, this is what it is. So I'm going to use myself as an example.
Okay.
The expert title is basically what you want to be known as and what results or benefits that your clients will gain from working with you. So for example, when I introduce myself, and here we go, this could be your...
Y'all get this for free, guys.
Yes.
Free. Okay, here we go.
Your 15-second elevator pitch or speech, and we know that. Right. When you go to networking groups, the very first thing they ask you, what do you do?
Yes, they
right?
do.
So you can say something, hi, my name is Ires Alliston. I'm a global branding mentor. So for those people around you who are listening in, who is actually, trying to figure out what do you do, they might be, it's going to pique interest, especially the ones who are looking for your products or services. Yeah. And the second one is, let's say it's my company title. I'm Ires Alliston. I'm the CEO of the Alliston Group. So let me recap. I'm Ires Alliston. I'm a global branding expert. I'm Ires Alliston. I'm the CEO of the Alliston Group.
Right.
See, the first one, it has something to do with what I can do
what
for
you can do for somebody else. That's it.
And the second one, it doesn't really do anything much besides just a title.
A title.
Right? So think of who you want to be known as. It could be a life coach or a business strategist or whatever the case may be for you, and elevate it up.
Right.
Elevate it.
Put some little spunk on it.
Right.
But it makes sense though,
Makes it unique. Yeah. Exactly.
Perfect.
So that's the first one.
Perfect.
So the second one is online presence. So definitely having the online presence, making sure that it's consistent across the board, from your website to your social media, having the right branding colors and your message and all that. I'm not going to go through that.
That makes sense. Right, online presence. Yeah.
And then the third one is profit. How are you going to profit from your talent?
Yeah.
It could be, you're coaching, you're training, you're speaking on stage, you're doing workshops, whatever the case may be for you, but you got to profit.
Right. And I'm glad you mentioned about profit, because, people will say, well, when do you find your purpose and all that stuff, and I kind of think this kind of goes with your pop. We all want to make money because we have to have money to survive. But I think when you would do something for free, I think that's when you know that you found it.
Yes.
Even though you want to still make money. And I think it's the difference between making the money and doing something with the money. Because once you make the money, you'll be able to be a philanthropist or whatever you want to do, paying it forward and that kind of thing. So I'm glad that you are not afraid to talk about the financial piece, because that does make a huge difference in because you're running the business at the end of the day. So what we're going to do, guys, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, Ires is going to talk about how to contact her and how you guys can purchase this book. Purchase this book. All right, see you in just a minute. Peace out. All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the show, everybody. I am Tonya Oxendine, and you can find me and follow me on Facebook and Instagram at I am Tonya Oxendine, and my new website is coming out soon at TonyaOxendine.com. So, welcome back. We're going to get ready to wrap up, and I'm going to ask Ires a few more questions because I want her to tell us how we can find this book. But before I do that, tell us why you decided to write the book on branding.
Yes, actually, that was inspired by a lot of my students and clients, as well as the people who were connected with me in Facebook. They were often have this gap, or they were having a challenge on, Ires, am I doing this right? How does my branding look and my marketing and all that? So that was definitely inspired by a lot of people who reached out to me. And I wrote that book within 14 days and have it published within less than 3 weeks in Amazon.
Wow. Now that goes to your expertise as well, because to write a book in 14 days.
It's not that big, but I have to put it out there.
But it's important information, and since we have it, and I've raised it up now, 51 common branding and marketing mistakes and how to fix them. So Ires Alliston, tell us where they can find the book, where they can purchase the book, and how you can be contacted.
Yes, it is available on Amazon, so all you have to do is either type in the entire title or just look it up under my name and you'll find it.
Oh, great.
Now, if you want to get an autograph from me, you gotta contact me.
That's right. And how do they do that? Through social media or Instagram?
Yes, definitely. I'm going to make it easy for you, and if you don't mind, do you think I'd like to gift your audience, if that's okay?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Yeah. So what you can do is you can text. You have to pull out your phone, right? You have to text 41242. Again, text 41242, the word brand, BRAND. Yep. And then you'll get the information that you just have to follow the instructions, because I'll give you the instructions, and then you'll get my PDF and all the information at your fingertips.
Great, good stuff. So social media, how can they follow you on social media?
Yes, I'm on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. It's under my name, Ires Alliston, or Alliston Group.
All right. So good stuff. So Ires, again, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Again, you guys, listen to this. An amazing woman, an amazing businesswoman. She's doing her thing, handling her business, and I'm so grateful to have met you and for you to coach me and help me out as I'm growing or starting my business as well. So thank you very much, and thank you guys for watching, and tune in next time on the show for future guests. Thank you guys. Peace out.